Welcome back to Silicophilic. I thought my Windows 11 setup was secure until I discovered Microsoft Edge was reportedly leaving passwords exposed in memory. That's when I stopped trusting the default setup. So I did what most people never do. I built my own Zero-Bloat Windows 11 ISO using Rufus. No forged Microsoft account, no unnecessary background chunk, no default browser trust, no bloated setup. In this video, I will show you exactly what I changed, why I changed it, and how you can do the same thing I did. The modern Windows problem. Modern operating systems are no longer just operating systems. They are ecosystems. Cloud integration, telemetry, background syncing, AI assistants, advertising IDs, online accounts. Everything connected, everything watching, and for many users, Windows 11 crossed a line. That's why a growing community started creating custom installations designed around one idea: minimalism, less tracking, less unnecessary software, less attack surface, and that movement became known as Zero-Bloat Windows. What is a Zero-Bloat ISO? A Zero-Bloat ISO is a customized Windows installation designed to remove unnecessary components before Windows even installs, and one of the most popular tools for doing this is Rufus. Normally, installing Windows 11 means accepting Microsoft account requirements, telemetry settings, bundled apps, Edge integration, background services, and hardware checks. But Rufus allows advanced users to bypass many of those restrictions. After downloading the official Windows 11 ISO from Microsoft, open Rufus and insert your USB drive. Click Select and choose the Windows 11 ISO file. Once Rufus detects Windows 11, it displays advanced customization options. This is where users can remove TPM requirements, disable mandatory Microsoft accounts, and skip telemetry-heavy setup screens before Windows installs. Building the Zero-Bloat install. The process starts with downloading a Windows 11 ISO directly from Microsoft. Then users launch Rufus. Inside Rufus, several powerful options appear: remove TPM requirements, disable mandatory Microsoft account login, skip telemetry-heavy setup screens, disable data collection preferences before installation even begins. Create a local offline account instead of cloud-linked profiles. For privacy-focused users, this is where Windows starts becoming their operating system again. Why users started distributing default Windows? For years, advanced users warned about increasing operating system complexity, not because every feature was malicious, but because every added service increases risk. Every background processes like expands memory usage, expands data collection, expands potential vulnerabilities, and then keep the Edge password controversy. The Edge password discovery. I wanted to see how many Edge's password manager handled secrets in memory. So I set up a simple experiment. I saved a password inside Edge, then I closed the browser completely, restarted Edge, and then I captured a memory dump of the browser process. To capture a memory dump of the Edge browser process after saving a password and restarting, you will need to use Windows's built-in tools. Here is a clear step-by-step guide. Open Task Manager by pressing Ctrl+Shift+Escape. Go to the Processes tab. Expand Microsoft Edge to see all child processes. Identify the browser process. Select the main Edge process that represents the browser instance. Look for the process named msedge.exe. Confirm it's the one consuming memory, not background services. Right-click to create dump. Windows allows you to generate a dump file directly from Task Manager. Right-click and choose Create Dump File from the context menu. Locate the dump file. The dump file is saved automatically to a temporary directory. A dialog will show the path, usually c:/users/yourname/appdata/local/temp/msedge.dmp. Copy or move the file to a secure location. You can inspect the dump with debugging tools if needed. And what I found was startling. The password appeared directly in memory, plain text, not encrypted, not fuscated, just sitting there, readable. That's a serious red flag. Passwords should only ever be decrypted from the briefest possible moment, just long enough to authenticate. They should not linger in memory like this. Why Zero-Bloat users care? This is where the Zero-Bloat philosophy connects directly to the Edge story. Zero-Bloat users believe the fewer services running, the fewer things can leak data. The fewer integrations active, the smaller the attack surface, and the less dependency on cloud-connected defaults, the more control the user keeps. That's why many hardened Windows users immediately disable Edge Sync, browser password storage, Microsoft telemetry, startup services, background tasks, not because every feature is evil, but because every feature becomes another possible exposure point. Startup apps slow boot and consume resources unnecessarily. To remove them, open Task Manager, then go to Startup Apps. Disable apps you don't need at startup. Keep only essential drivers or security software. To disable telemetry tasks, press Win+R, then type task.msc. From the Task Scheduler library, choose Microsoft, then Windows, then Customer Experience Improvement Program. Disable or delete telemetry-related tasks. Also check Application Experience and Auto-Check folders. To turn off Advertising ID, go to Settings, then Privacy and Security, then General or Recommendations and Offers. Toggle off Advertising ID. To stop Edge from storing passwords locally, open Edge, then open Settings, then Passwords and Autofill. Then Microsoft Password Manager. In More Settings, turn off Autofill windows and Passwords and Passkeys. Then head to Profiles from Settings, then select Sync, then turn off Passwords and Passkeys. The biggest lesson from this story isn't just about Edge, it's about modern computing itself. People assume encrypted means safe. Default means secure, built-in means trustworthy. But security is complicated. Sometimes the weakest point isn't storage, it's memory. Why Rufus became so popular? Years ago, tools like Rufus were mostly used for creating bootable USB drives. Today, they have become part of the larger movement. A movement focused on reclaiming user control, reducing dependency, minimizing tracking, and hardening Windows against unnecessary complexity. The zero-bloat philosophy isn't about making Windows look cleaner, it's about reducing trust assumptions. Because modern cybersecurity no longer assumes software is perfect, even software from trillion-dollar companies. The real question. The Edge password controversy may eventually be patched. Microsoft may redesign how credentials are handled in memory. But the bigger question remains. How much should users trust default settings? That question is exactly why Zero-Bloat Windows installations continue growing in popularity, not because people hate technology, but because they want control over it again. And in a world where passwords, identities, and private data live inside our machines, control matters. So that's the Zero-Bloat ISO, a Windows 11 installed stripped down to essentials, built with Rufus, and hardened against unnecessary complexity. It's not about rejecting technology, it's about reclaiming control. Because in the end, your operating system should serve you, not the other way around. If you found this video useful, hit subscribe and keep following. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.